Hello, this video is the solution to the inventory check challenge from TechHub.training. This solution video will go over the VBA for installing a user-defined function for regex in Excel, how to write and use regex statements, and how to use conditional formatting on Boolean values. You can participate in this challenge by following the link in the description below. All right, let's get into it. So this is the inventory check file worksheet that we received from our audit staff. They conducted the inventory check already and put the information they gathered into this table here. What we want to do is make sure that the values input here follow certain patterns to make sure that they're accurate. Anything that does not, we'll want to follow up with our audit staff and either fix it or get the correct information. So to do that, we will use regex statements, but Excel does not have any regex formulas implemented already. So this worksheet has a macro-enabled worksheet that has regex user-defined functions for regex. We can see that in the Developer tab under Visual Basic. And here in the module, I've already installed the code that we'll need to use a regex match function. So we can start off here. Columns A through E are the data that staff already collected. F through J are where we'll be using our regex match formulas. And then column M is where we will be writing our regex statements. So each statement will be following a lot of the instructions from the instruction page you already have for each column. So starting off with the product ID column, it says that each product has an ID number that will start with 3 letters to identify which department balance it pertains to, raw, WIP, or fin. The 3 letters are then followed by a dash and then 3 numbers. So how we will write this regex statement is we'll say that the first 3 digits characters will either be raw, WIP, or fin, and those pipes indicate that these are optional items. There'll then be a dash followed by 3 digits. We can write that with escaped D character and 3 digits. We can then put this here and call the regex matched formula. The first argument is the text we want to analyze, and then the next is the regex statement. We'll anchor that so we can copy it down and paste it down. The receipt date, it says that the receipt date refers to when an item was received from the department. The audit is for the first 3 months of the year 2016, and according to Innovatech's operation flowcharts, items can only be received in January, February, or March. So for the regex statement, I'll type it out and then explain each component of it. All right, so this 1 through 3 is for the month, and it can be January, February, or March. We'll then have the / for the date formatting. And then the information here in the argument in these parentheses are separated by pipe, so we know that they could match any of these 3 arguments. So the first is it might be a 0 for the first digit, and then a 1 through 9. So that will match days 1 through 9 of the month. And then the second argument is that it could be a 1 or a 2, followed by 0 through 9. So this will match days 10 through 29 of the month. Or it could be a 3, followed by a 0 or a 1. So this will match the 30th or the 31st of the month. We'll then have another slash, and then the year 2016. So we can put that in the formula, match to the receipt date, using the regex check, anchor that, and paste it down. The count date check for regex will be pretty similar to the receipt date. The only difference is that we'll only be looking for March, so we'll just have a 3 here at the beginning. can put in that formula again. Count date, anchor, and then we can drag it down. The ISBN check is a little trickier, so I'm going to paste that in and then describe that as well. All right, expand that out a little bit. All right, so what this is saying is that we'll first match for the ISBN code acronym here, followed by a white space. And then this argument here says that we are looking for 17 digits. And the reason why is because the ISBN has a interesting format where it's kind of variable and it can change. So it says that the acronym for the International Standard Book Number, it's a 13-digit number that identifies a specific book, edition, or book-like product. Every ISBN consists of 13 digits, and whenever it is printed, it is preceded by the letters ISBN. The 13-digit number is divided into 4 parts of variable length, and each part is separated by a hyphen. So we'll have 13 digits and 4 hyphens. And so this argument here will match all 17 of those characters. It then checks whether there are exactly 17 characters left until the end of the string. And if so, it will match the prefix of 978 or 979. It then matches a hyphen followed between 1 and 5 digits, another hyphen between 1 and 7 digits, and another hyphen between 1 and 6 digits, and then finally exactly 1 digit at the end. So it's a little trickier. If you're able to figure that out, props to you. I just wanted to put that in there to see how many of you could get it and to give you a bit of a challenge. So that's the regex statement, and we can then put in the formula to match for it. So we'll be using column C, anchor that in, paste it down. The support file path check doesn't actually need regex. And so what we're doing here is we want to make sure that the file path extension is within these first 2 folders of inventory published in Novatech Publishing and the inventory check, and that the department balance folder matches the product ID balance in column A. We then want to make sure that the actual file name is barcode and then the ISBN number .png. So the way we can do that is by writing a concatenate statement. And the first text string will be the backslash Novatech, another backslash inventory check, another backslash, and then we'll end the string, pull up the next item to concatenate, and it will be the left 3 digits of the product ID, the left 3 characters of the product ID. So we'll have left of A2, and we want the first 3. And now we will concatenate another string of backslash barcode space and the string, and then we will concatenate the ISBN number, another item, .png. Close it out. And so that is the concatenate statement that we're looking for. And we want to make sure that it matches the extension in column E. So we'll say equals, and then we can just call in cell E2. Get true, and then paste that down. So you can kind of see that there's a couple falses hiding around in there, but it can be a little tricky to see. So a nice way to highlight those is to select all these values here, go to conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula to determine which cells to format. I'll say when F2 is false. F2 is the first item in our selection, but it will apply to the entire amount, the entire selection. Let's say format, make it red and scary because it's false. Hit OK, and boop, they pop out. So we can see that there's actually quite a few items that we'll need to go and check with our audit staff. We can see one that returned false for every single item. Another way we can format this is by selecting the actual values. Conditional formatting, new rule, formula again. And we'll say again when F2 is false. We'll make it not so scary yellow. Hit OK. And now it actually highlights the values that were wrong. So in column A, we see that it only had 2 digits instead of 3. The count date here was conducted in April instead of March. The receipt date was received in April instead of the first 3 months of the year. This ISBN code does not have the acronym at the front, but it does here in this file path, so that's why they didn't match and it highlighted it. This item here is from a completely wrong department balance. It was for SG&A expenses. Was received in November of last year. Completely wrong barcode. Received in January. And the barcode here in this file does not match the ISBN number here. And then lastly, we have FG instead of FIN, so that was probably a typo, but it does match the department balance here. So we have reviewed these values in the worksheet given to us by the audit staff. We've identified some values that we'll need to follow up with them to make sure that they're accurate and get the best information for the audit. And that is the solution for the inventory check challenge. Thank you for watching.